Hello, good afternoon, everyone. This is Sarita Seni, your economics teacher. As you know, whole world is suffering with the COVID-19 pandemic. So I'm here to teach you economics. So no worry about your learning of economics. So I'll teach you with the help of my videos. So here I am to help you because our school has taken e-learning initiative. So I'm helping you with the help of e-learnings. So let's learn now. So as we have already covered three parts of our chapter, now this is going to be the last part of your chapter. So if I'm going to start for today's topics, let me revise you with few of the topics we have already covered. So few topics like we have covered different types of sectors, organized, unorganized sector. We discussed about many other things like other primary sector, secondary sector. We learned about the activities which come under primary, secondary sectors. So now we are left with only one type of sector. So we will, today's topic which we are going to cover today is, the first topic is sectors on the basis of ownership. And another topic which we are going to cover today is how do we count the various goods and services and know the total production in each sector. So it is also a very important thing, and generally people don't understand how we calculate different things. Now the next thing is rising importance of tertiary sector. So this topic was left earlier, so we will discuss it in detail today. So let's start with today's. So for today's topic, we are going to discuss now sectors on the basis of ownership. The first sector, which is on the basis of ownership, ownership is basically concerned with the word owner. So who is the owner of a particular business? So we have two types. The first thing is public sector, another thing is private sector. So when I talk about public sector, the owner is government. So how government is the owner of the public sector? The thing is, if we talk about all the assets, all the things which we are using for the particular work, that will be provided by the government. The whole money spent for this sector is by the government. So all the facilities, all the things that will be used under the public sector, generally the people who are working in government jobs, all the material which they need for their particular job, that will be provided by the public sector, that will be provided by the government, and that means government is the owner of that sector. Next is the private sector. Private sector is again, the owner for the private sector is the private individuals. So they are not involved with the government. They are not the part of the government sector. So here we are talking about private sector. So private sector is mainly focused on it is only focusing on the profit which they are earning. But in the public sector, government is not thinking of any profits, but government is always thinking of the welfare of the people. And another thing is, when we talk about private sector owners, who can be the owner of private sector? So if I start my own business, so I will be the private individual, so I can be the part of private sector. So I can handle the activities myself, and I cannot even consider the policies which are provided by the government for different sectors that people are generally using in the public sector. So this is the thing. Next, if we talk about the rules and regulations, yes, in public sector, people are following all the rules and regulation that will be defined by the government. And time to time, government gives instruction, and they are using all the things. When we talk about the private sector, so private sector, generally there are no rules and regulations people are following. They are following whatever the rules they are making. So this is the basic difference. So if I talk about the example of public sector, so if I talk about the example, so the first example can be the government sector is working for, the public transport which we are using, that will be provided by the government. Another thing is, government is also providing you many things, like government is providing you many things like post offices. Government is providing you electricity, even railways. So all these things are the part of your public sector. Another thing is when I talk about the example of private sector. So in the private sector, we have different examples. The first example is we can take the example of Reliance Industries. So they are not involved with the government. There is no use of government while they are taking any of their decisions. So this is the thing. Another thing is we can take the example of TISCO. So TISCO is Tata Iron and Steel Company. So this company is mainly running their own business, and the owner is not concerned with the government. So I hope this is clear to you. So the questions which you have to make it with this topic is what is the difference between private and public sector. So this will be your homework for today. So let me continue with the second topic now. First topic is, I hope that is clear to everyone. Now the next topic is, how do we count goods and services and know the total production in each sector? This topic is on page number 22, and we will I have not covered it so far, but some of the questions can be asked out of this. So the first thing is, which we are going to cover in this topic is, the first thing is, we have to understand two things. The first thing is, what are final goods? Another thing is intermediate goods. So the first thing is intermediate goods. Intermediate goods. Second thing is final goods. So if I talk about intermediate goods are those goods which are still not processed, and it can be further processed and it can be used to become to make final goods. So this is the thing. Another thing is, so we can take it as example of sugar cane. So it is the intermediate good. So sugar cane, after processing it, we make sugar out of this. So sugar is the final good. So if I talk about the first thing, that is intermediate good, that is the raw material. In simple words, we can say this is raw material. This is raw material. Now, if I talk about the final goods, goods which are ready to sell. So goods which are ready to sell, I can give you example of this marker. So when this marker is packed, this marker is filled with ink, and then it is all wrapped in a proper way, and the final step, it is just packed for the sale. So in that point we call it as the final good. So further processing is not needed for this particular product, and this is ready to use. So final goods are those goods which are ready to use, which we are ready to sell in the market. So final goods, if I talk about the raw material, if I talk about sugarcane, so sugar is the final good which we are using. So I hope this is clear to you. Now the next thing is, how do we count goods and services and know the total production in each sector? So the basic points we have already discussed. Now let me just give you example. When we talk about GDP, so GDP is when we are just talking about all the goods and services that is being produced in the country within a year, and that will be all the final goods and services. So what does it mean? It means we only and only consider final goods. Now, if we are not considering final goods, then what will be the problem with that our country has to face? The thing is, if we are using the raw material again and again, and we include it in the national income, or we can include it in the GDP, then there is a problem of double counting. Now, what is double counting? I'll just explain you this in detail with the help of example. So what is double counting? Double counting is a concept when we start counting things twice or thrice when we are making final goods by using the intermediate goods. So let me give you example. Suppose we got a packet of biscuits. So how we produce it and how we just know the what is the price of the particular product. So we will discuss with the help of this example. So for making a biscuit packet, So 1 packet of biscuit. So if I am talking about 1 packet of biscuits, so suppose that biscuit is Good Day. So 1 packet is costing round about rupees 25. Fine. So for making biscuits, the first raw material, the intermediate raw material we need is flour. Before flour we need so the flour is wheat flour we need. Another thing which we need is sugar and other things, other material. Third thing is packing. We can say also baking, packing, and then last, transportation till it reaches the market. Fine. When we have to talk about this, so if your packet of biscuit is costing about 25 rupees, so let me start with, for before wheat flour even the wheat comes. So what we have to do it, we have to take wheat. Suppose the wheat which we are using is of rupees 5. So we are using the wheat for rupees 5, and then we convert it into the wheat flour, and it will be the cost for this wheat flour is rupaya. Now the cost for wheat flour is rupaya 7. So here we started now the process of this, how double counting occurs. So I am just using this thing. So the rupaya 7 here for the wheat flour. So the first raw material for making the biscuit packet, that is rupaya 7. Now cost is rupaya 7 for wheat flour. Now the next thing is sugar. Suppose the cost of the sugar is then rupaya 3. So we used rupaya 3 for this, and then for packing rupaya 5 we can say, and the last is transportation. So suppose the cost for this is rupaya, it is rupaya 10. So this we have covered, till now. So now if I am calculating this, so it will be costing of rupaya 25. So it will be costing of rupaya 25 here. Now if I talk in more further detail, so what is double counting? So if I use this money and then again I use this money, so again I add this money, then again I use this money, so it will be leading to the problem of double counting. That means if I am using 7 here, then I'm going to plus 3 here, then again I have to add this 7 again, so it will be 10 here. So again this is used. Now 5 should be added in this, according to which we are calculating our national income. So that is the concept. But in double counting concept we use it twice and thrice for adding up the values of the products. So similarly, we are not considering the value of second-hand products. The things which we are producing in the first year of production, we are considering those for calculating the GDP. So those, if we are using it again and again, then again it leads to the problem of double counting. This topic is further more in detail in grade 11. Double counting is a concept in that, and even grade 12 we have this concept when we talk about the different national income. So in grade 12 that is the part, so we will discuss in that. Now the next thing is when we talk about, so I guess this is clear to you. So we consider the values again and again. So again it will be 15, then again it will be 25. So if we add the full value, it will be even double of the amount. So it will be 25 plus 25, it will be 50 rupaya. So this is what I was trying to say when I have to calculate about the production in each sector. So what we consider the value for first sector, that is only the raw material. So the basic sector is your primary sector. So if we are taking the value of only floor, that is the value total production that is done in the primary sector. Now if I talk about the second sector, so whatever activities we are using, so whatever related to processing is there, so that will be considered as the production that will be done in the secondary sector. Now the last, both the things that comes under the service. So services are the part of the production which we are producing in the third sector. So that is the tertiary sector. Now we will continue with the next topic. So let's start with the next topic, that is the most important thing. So let's begin with the next topic that is asked many times in CBSE exams. So rising importance of tertiary sector. So what is the tertiary sector? Everybody know what are the services which we are using while doing our activities, financial activities, economic activities. So this is related to the tertiary sector activities. So how these activities are rising. So this part is given in your book on page number, that is 24. So the question is after the graph. So let me just discuss the services which we are considering now. So the very first point is, any country, several services such as hospitals, education institutions, post, telegraph services, police stations, court, village administrative offices, municipal corporations, defense, transport, banks, insurance companies, etc. are required. Whenever we are thinking to have any of the country for the development, so we require these basic services, these several services. So these are all basic services. So in developing countries, generally it will be all given by the government. Now the second point which we are talking about this on page number 24 is, the development of agriculture and industry leads to the development of services. Now what are the services we require when we have to start with agriculture? Most of the developing countries, they always they develop their economy with the help of agriculture only. But for agriculture also we require many services. The first thing that will be required in development of industry and agriculture is transport, trade, and then is the things which we require generally, banking. So all these things are required when we are talking about this. In development of primary sector and secondary sector, more of the demand for such services we can see in our daily routine. So if somebody has to start a business, obviously that person needs a finance. So that finance will be always helpful when they have to think about the agriculture, and when even somebody wants to grow any crops. So for growing those crops, even we require finances, and that finances will be arranged with the help of banking. But if we are produced with the goods, then we have to sell it in the market. So for going market also we need transportation, and if you're not able to go there and you want to sell your goods, whether you want to sell it with the help of online services or you need any mediator for this, so then that will be considered with the help of trade. So trade is also required when we are talking about the, what is trade? It is simple buying and selling of goods. So from one place to another place we have to sell the goods. So we need some services that is considered as trade. Next thing is third point is, as income level rises. Now generally what happens when somebody's income rises, so everybody asks for the better facilities. So if I can give you example, if somebody is like poor from the background and that person got like I can give you example of that person win lottery. So in that lottery he is now like he won rupees 1 lakh, or we can say the even 1 crore rupees. So in that case, so what he will do? So generally when he was poor, he was eating just rice and the basic dal. But now if he is like winner of that lottery, so he will be start shifting himself to the good meals, like the people who are like belonging to middle class, or you can say the luxury class, they start eating now shahi paneer, now they start eating rumali fulka, and they start eating even in the restaurants, and even they are doing shopping in the malls. So they will be just visiting now, they start their children to study in the private schools. So many of the facilities people will start asking. So whenever the level of income increases, so we have to think it like, if I am earning something, then if my income rises, so what other things I will do it with my income? So it will be done with the help of this services which we are demanding. So now generally people buy goods from the general market. Now if you are having more money, so you will be preferring to go to the malls, like your DMart, you will be moving to Best Price. So all these things people start demanding. Even if we talk about the treatment, so if somebody wants medical treatment also, so people start asking for private hospitals, as they feel private hospitals will provide them better services as compared to government. So this is the point. Now let me just discuss the last point with you, the fourth point. If we talk about the last few decades, so few decade means last 10 years. So if I talk about last 40 years, so many other services are now coming into like nowadays coming up, and these are generally communication, information and communication technology, that we consider it as a ICT. So now it is gaining a lot of power, and because of that we are now in contact with whole of world, and because of that we are earning so many things while sitting at home. Even now your school is also doing the same thing. So this is all possible because of information and communication technology, which we have developed in few years, few decades back. So this will be all helpful, and that is all which we have to discuss in today's class. So let me tell you what are the questions you need to do it for today. The first question is the difference between private and public sector. Another question is you need to find out the concept, what is double counting, that is given on page number 22 of your book. So you just go through that example, and then you have to explain the problem of double counting and how we count different services, different goods. So all we are going to discuss. So you have to write down that question, how do we count the various goods and services and know the total production in each sector. Another thing which we have to discuss today is how tertiary sector is gaining importance in the world. So you need to discuss all these questions, because these questions are asked many times in the CBSE exams, board exams. So these are very, very important. So with this your whole chapter is finished. I will provide you question bank of this chapter. So just go through the book first. All the things, most of the things I have covered in your chapter, just go through once from your book, and then if you have any doubt you can discuss with me on my number, and even you can leave a message to me on WhatsApp. So this is what I'm discussing with you. So you have to do 3 questions today. First is that is difference between private and public sector. Another question is how we count different goods and services. So that is the question. Next question is how tertiary sector is rising importance in the world. So you need to discuss all 3 questions on the basis of I can say 3 and 5 marks. So you can be solving this question on the basis of 3 and 5 marks. That is important, so that your style of presentation I will come to know. So solve it all 3 questions on your notebook and send me the answers. I'll correct it and tell you how you have to write down if any problem is there. I know you people are able to solve this. So thank you so much. Take care of yourself. Stay healthy. Stay safe at your home. And we will definitely finish this COVID-19 pandemic. Thank you so much. God bless you.